I think for the most part, whenever we feel stuck, it's not so much that our minds cannot perceive anywhere to go, right? But more so our minds are thinking of too many places to go. So in a sense, we become paralyzed by thought, and then we end up not taking action. We end up not doing anything, right? And what you have to understand is that if you don't take action, your mind will. And what I mean by that is overthinking is a product of inaction, in which because you're not taking action, right? You're not doing anything, your mind has no choice but to take action. So what happens is that your mind becomes overwhelmed with these constant thoughts, and then you begin to feel stuck. And the only way to overcome this is to take action, right? Is to move forward, is to make a choice and stick with that choice. I think a lot of us, in a sense, we're trying to predict the future with our thinking. And I'm not saying thinking is wrong, right? I think thinking is important, right? Whenever you're making a decision or whatever. But oftentimes, we think way too much than we need to, right? Oftentimes, we think way too much instead of taking action, right? Oftentimes, we become paralyzed by thoughts thinking, if I do this, this is going to happen. But what if I do this and this happens, or this might happen, or that might happen, right? We become so overwhelmed with these constant thoughts, and the only way to navigate these thoughts is to take action, right? Is to make a choice and do something. And the thing about it is, right, the future is not something that can be predicted. It is something that has to be experienced, right? And I think a lot of us were always trying to predict the future. And that's not possible. See, when you're on your path, when you're on your mission, right? Once you're navigating life and moving forward, you're going to be faced with various obstacles, right? Things are gonna come your way unexpectedly. And the only way you're gonna be able to deal with these things is in the moment. You're not gonna be able to deal with them, prior to that. Because they simply don't exist until they exist in the present moment. You get what I'm saying? So, taking action, right? Having the courage to move forward is going to be the thing that reveals the path to you. And oftentimes, when we're on our journey and when we're moving forward, sometimes we have to detour. Sometimes we have to change our course of action. Sometimes we have to, make a different decision or go down a different path. And that's okay. That's a part of life. But staying stuck and staying stagnant, not making any moves at all, is not going to lead you anywhere. It's just going to continue to perpetuate this cycle of stagnation in which you're not moving forward and you're allowing your thoughts or your overthinking to keep you stuck. When I really think back and I sort of look back at the trajectory of my life, right? And the things that, in a sense, I thought I wanted in the past or whatever, or even my journey, I had so many different detours. I remember I wanted to go to school, and I actually enrolled in college for biology, right? Because I wanted to be first a doctor, then I changed it to a PA, right? And then I realized, oh shit, I don't want to do that. I'm more inclined to psychology. Then I switched to psychology, right? There's so many different detours that I had to take to figure myself out. And I think oftentimes we're not going to be able to figure ourselves out until we're on that path, right? Until we take action, and then we can sort of recalibrate and figure more of who we are out, or figure out the path that we actually want to take, right? That's how life is. The path to success is never truly a straight line. You're going to be faced with constant obstacles, right? Things are going to happen that you're going to have to overcome and get over, right? And you're going to take detours. You're going to make different decisions than what you think you wanted initially. And that's okay, right? That's absolutely okay. Such is life. I think in every single one of us there is sort of a guiding compass, or what I would call a GPS, right? And the GPS is in us, not in the world, right? It's in you, not in the world. Which means that wherever you go, it is there. Wherever you are, it is there because it is in you, right? It's always guiding you. And whatever you want to conceptualize it as, right? Your intuition, God, consciousness, source, the universe, whatever. It is within you. That force is within you. And that force is always guiding you to who you need to be and to where you need to go. But I think oftentimes we don't allow ourselves to listen to that intuition or listen to that internal guiding force, right? We're always looking for guidance outside of ourselves when we have something within us that is always guiding us. But how can that thing guide you properly or guide you in the right way if you don't take action, right? Let's say you want to go to the store, you want to go to Walmart or Aldi or Target or whatever, and you turn on the GPS, you put in the location or the destination that you want to get to, and the GPS tells you to turn right, and you just stay there in your car, not taking action, not doing anything, right? How's the GPS supposed to guide you to where you need to go, right, in the right way, if you're not taking action, if you're not moving forward, right? How can it recalibrate and guide you and give you proper instructions to where you need to go if you don't take action, right? You have to be the one that has to make that decision, consciously make the decision to move forward, right? The path will reveal itself as you move forward. You sitting down and you thinking and you conceptualizing and you trying to predict every course of action and sort of predict every obstacle is not going to lead you closer to where you need to go. You have to take action. If you even really think about it, a lot of people in this world who are successful, right? And I'm not saying this to be disparaging or whatever. They aren't even, some of the smartest people in a sense, right? They don't, have, certain accolades, or some of them don't even think on certain levels. But what they do have is courage. What they do have is, bravery to make a decision and move forward with it, right? What they do have is inner conviction. They believe in themselves. They trust their internal guiding force, right, within them, right? But if you have knowledge, if you have, whatever you want to call it, and you don't take action, then what's the point of having all that knowledge if you're not utilizing it, if you're not putting it to action, right? Knowledge without application is simply philosophy. You have to apply it. You have to experience life by taking action. That's the only way the path is going to reveal itself to us and reveal it, who we are and where we're meant to go. You have to take action, right? But you feel stuck because of your inaction. You feel stuck because you're not allowing yourself to move forward. You have to make a decision. Trust your intuition. Listen to that voice that is telling you, make that move and trust it. Because the thing about it is, right, our conscious mind in a sense is sort of limited, right? But within us, we have a force that goes beyond our conscious mind. But in a sense, it can only also do so much because we're the ones that have to consciously make that decision, right? But you have to trust your internal intuition. You have to trust your guide, and it is working for you. But right now you're in a perpetual state of stagnation because you refuse to take action. Make a choice, right? If you have to recalibrate and make a different decision down the line, that's okay. If you ask any successful person, they probably had multiple detours, right? They had went through multiple different paths to get where they want to go, right? Like I said before, success is not a straight line. But success requires bravery. Success requires courage. Success requires conviction and trust. Trusting in yourself, in your capabilities, and trusting within that internal guiding force within you. But all this overthinking, right, is only going to keep you in that state of stagnation. I think it was Alan Watts that said, a person that thinks all the time has nothing else to think but thoughts. And I can't remember the second part of that quotation, but essentially what he was saying is that the person becomes so wrapped up in his thoughts in which he loses touch with reality, right? And I think in the same way, whenever we think too much and overthink situations, we begin to get caught up in our thoughts so much that we sort of, stay in a state of stagnation or remain in a state of stagnation, right? Thinking is essential, but thinking without action is pointless. What's the point of thinking if you're not going to move? What's the point of having thoughts or, having those ideas if you're not going to move forward with them, right? There's no point at all. Life rewards people who have the bravery and who have the courage to take action. People who have the ability to trust in themselves. Life rewards those people. So if you want life to take you down the path or to guide you where you need to go, you have to be the one to take action. Don't allow yourself to be, confined in that perpetual state of stagnation. Move forward. Whatever it is that you desire in this moment, move forward. If you even just have a thought, that says, okay, sign up for this or take this course of action, listen to it, right? Take action. Allow it to guide you, right? Move forward. You staying stuck is because of your constant overthinking. Make a decision. Stick by that decision. And if you have to change your course of action once you figure out and once you get more information, that's okay. That's what life is about, right? Life rewards those who have the bravery to make a decision and take action, right? So once again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here with me. And yeah, I feel like we live in a society where a lot of people, in a sense, they're feeling stagnant, and I think our overthinking is a thing that is creating that feeling of stagnation. And the only way to overcome that is to take action. Even if it's just a fleeting feeling to try something, try it. Do it. Dive right in. You will receive the guidance after you take action, right? The path will open itself more and become more clear to you as a result of your action. But you can never truly be led down the right path if you stay stuck and you refuse to take action. Move forward, make a decision, and stick by that decision. And trust that there's something working in your favor that is guiding you to where you need to go and to who you need to be, right? Peace and blessings to y'all.